Howard with Ashley Howard Teaches, and we are doing week 8 of CC Tutor Planning, Cycle 1, 5th edition. Now, if you are just loving this fall weather, will you hit that like button? Man, is it beautiful outside. I am just loving this. The coats, the cool dresses, the boots. I just love it. Anyway, so let's get started with geography. So for geography this week, I brought out a Fruit Loop. Now, what's cool about the Fruit Loop is the hole. So I like to make it kind of like binoculars, but really more like monoculars, where they look through this Fruit Loop and they find each place. So what I'll do is I'll have them put the map up here and I'll say, find the A for Arabian Sea. And they will look through this Fruit Loop and they will find the A and find the Arabian Sea. So we'll go through and move our Fruit Loop to each location. So this is a great way to get started. And then of course we have our pen, our dry erase marker where we can trace, dot, and outline those geographical locations. Now I also like to give extra information about each geographical location because I think it's interesting not only for the parents but for the kids. So I like to tell them for the Himalaya Mountains, it's the world's highest mountain range. And ask them if they have ever heard of Mount Everest. And a lot of them have. They get excited, raise their hand. And I like to tell them that the Mount Everest is the highest peak in the Himalayan mountains. So this week we also talk about the Ganges River. It is one of the world's largest rivers as well. And for Hindus, this is a very sacred river. So those are some interesting facts about the Ganges River, about the Himalayas, and you will see the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. What I like to tell them about those is that it kind of goes in ABC order. So we have Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, A, B, and they like to see that. So that is geography for this week. Let's move on to 14. So this week we get to skip count by 14s. Now for 14s, I like to bring out, dun 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 dun, my limbo stick. So you don't have to have a limbo stick. You can just use a stick of bamboo, or maybe it's a broom. Maybe it's something you find like a piñata stick. There's so many different options for this, but we like to say our 14s and skip count. And what I'll do is first I'll have them sit at their seats. We'll use our number cards. Now those skip counting number cards are available to you for free. So check out the link below in the description. Also hit that like button if you love freebies. So you will find those. So I like to go through those first. That way they have a good knowledge of what we're singing. Because while some kids know them perfectly, some kids just really don't. So I like to go through those so that they have really good practice. So for 14s, after we have used our number cards to skip count, I already have in place a piece of blue tape where they will put their feet behind to get started. That way there's good order in the classroom. And so I'll have a limbo stick. I might have a parent hold it just so that I can do crowd control and make sure they are singing this as they go through. So each time we will do limbo and they will go lower and lower as they sing their 14s. They think this is fun. It's a good way to get them engaged in learning. So that is it for math for this week. It's so simple, only one skip counting song. So let's move on to history. Okay, so this week for history, when we do imperialism, I like to give a little background knowledge in case you don't know. So for imperialism, this was a time when these larger, bigger countries were taking over smaller countries. So what they would do is they would come in, they would colonize them, they would take over these little nations. So this is what our history sense is about this week. So we'll start with during. So for during, we'll go like this. And for age, I like to remind them age in this sense doesn't mean a number or how old someone is, but rather refers to a time or a time period. So we'll go during the age, and for imperialism, we are going to pick off those smaller nations. So we're gonna go imperialism. Then for British, we are going to go like this, and we're going to bend our knees, and we're gonna drink our tea. So we will go the British. And for establish the rule, so for rule, we're going to go like this. And then for India, we are going to go like this and make an eye like this. And then for 1858, we're going to put out 8 fingers. And then for Queen, we are going to put a crown on our head like this. And then for Empress again, we are going to crown ourselves. And then for 1877, I like to go like this, and we're gonna have swirly hands. So for 77, so for before, we are going to jump backwards and point backwards. Before, and then for assassination, I like to just make the letter A because I feel like otherwise it gets kind of crazy and sometimes not very good. So I like to make an A for assassination. And then again for 1848, we'll have 8 fingers out. Now for Mohandas Gandhi, I like to make an M with our arms. M for Mohandas Gandhi. For passive resistance, I like to go like this. Ooh, like we're pushing against a wall and going backwards. So we'll go like that and push backwards and lean backwards. And then for movement, I like to be kind of goofy and we'll go like this for movement. And we'll move our feet, move our hands. And then for India's independence, I like to jump out like this and have sideways arms and we're shaking our hands. So that's our history movements. It's a really good song. It's a really long one. So I will encourage you to take it a few steps at a time and then kind of go backwards. So start at the beginning, do a little bit of it, and then try it again before you move all the way through every single hand movement, or else it can be overwhelming. So to sing it through, I like to use our sticks where we pull out different things with different motions. Maybe it's jumping jacks, maybe it's voices, and I'm going to have something available for you soon on my TPT store. So I'm going to have about 5 pages available for you of different ideas. So I will have that in the TPT store soon. If you want to check out my TPT store, did I say that right? TPT store. You can check out the link below. Also, in my description, you'll see my website where you can sign up for one-on-one homeschool consultation. So go ahead and check that out. It's really fun. If you're getting value out of this video, would you hit that like button? It so helps this channel. And don't forget to hit subscribe. So let's move on to English. So for English, again, we're still doing prepositions. So as I've said before, I have a link to a video for prepositions that you will love, that is not mine, but a very creative person has a dance on there with all of the movements. So let's move on to Latin. Okay, so for Latin, this is super fun. So I like to pull out a fly swatter. You can get these at the Dollar Tree, and then they might look like this. This one is very worn down. So I think that I'm going to buy a new one soon, but that's just a fun way to incorporate things. So what we do is I like to put them out. I print them out on a piece of paper, I cut them out, and I put them on the table, each one in separate places for them to go by, and I'll have them go in a line, and they get to come by, and as we're singing it, each person gets a chance to come by and swat each one. They think this is super fun. Then I'll have them go faster and faster, and they come through and hit them faster, and it just makes for a fun afternoon. So that is what we do for Latin third declensions. Also, real quick, if you just love this map, oh my goodness, I love it. Guys, it's a vinyl material, so you can kind of touch on it. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't really bend bad. It's so flexible and so much fun to hang up. So if you would like a discount for that, I will leave a link below where you will receive a 5% discount on anything in this store. Wow. And they also have fun shirts that are for teachers. So it's really fun. They're cute shirts. I don't have one on today. I usually do. But I love to wear these because they're comfortable, they're soft, and they're cute, and they're perfect for when you're tutoring a class. So don't forget to check that out. So for science, guys, I love science. So for me, for science, this is where I thrive. So for monocots, I like to show them the leaves. So I like to have leaves ready for them. They have pictures, but I think it's more fun for them to see it in person, for them to feel it. They may have felt it in the nature walk the week before, but this just solidifies their knowledge on monocots, dicots, and conifers. So what I like to show them with the monocots is you can only see vertical lines going up and down. You won't see any branching veins on the leaves for monocots. So I show them the monocot, and then I show them the dicot, which you can see. There's veins going off to the side. They're not all going up and down like our monocot. So then I also usually have a pine cone. I can't find it anywhere, but I like to bring out a pine cone. Now you might not have these available by your home, which is a great time to go to the craft store, like Hobby Lobby, places like that. They have these kind of things where they'll have big leaves, they'll have pine cones, so you can always find it if you are looking for it. So then we will go ahead and sing a song. Now I like to do this to the tune of Father Abraham, so let me sing that for you right now. So it goes, monocots, dicots, and conifers are some types of seed plants. Let's sing them again faster. And then we go through and we'll sing them faster and faster as we go through. So that is how I sing that song. So that is a fun way to go through several times and practice. I also like to have them sit on the floor and them sit crisscross applesauce, and we'll hit the floor as we go through. Then we might change to clapping or snapping. There's so many ways to make this fun. We can also bring out our shakers. So they like this idea of going faster and faster. And then I might have them stop and say, let's go in slow motion. And then it'll kind of rewind to help those kids who may be struggling with it go a little bit slower and learn it a little bit better. So I always like to make sure everybody's really getting it, and we're not just doing the fun things, but we're also really engaging and learning. So I also like to, when I write the science, I write on the board, I draw a picture of each of these. I'll draw a picture of a monocot leaf, a dicot leaf, and a conifer. So those are some fun ways. You can also look on CC Connected, and they'll have some great images that you can print out and put on your blackboard. So those are great too. So let's move on to review. We're already here. I can't believe it. So for review this week, I have some great ideas to share with you. Okay, so these review ideas are not my ideas. They're ones that I have heard over the years that I have loved. So my first one is great for any time, but make sure you don't have any food allergies first. I kind of like to ask my parents beforehand, make sure we don't have any problems with that so we can get started on a clear foot. So what I like to do is I give them a cupcake that's already made. And then as we go through review, they get to put on different toppings. So like one is icing, one is sprinkles, one is chocolate chips, and they can pick along the way what they want. But every time they answer a review question, they get to put a new topping on. So I love this idea. One of my dear friends came up with this idea, and I thought it was so much fun, so exciting for these little ones. And you might save that idea for Christmas time right before you get out for break, because that's a fun one for kind of a party exciting day too. So I also love, there's one called Wiggly Worm. So I think this is on CC Connected. I'm almost positive. I will look and leave it in the comments so you can check that out. But it's called Wiggly Worm, and what you do is you pull out the different subjects, and then all of a sudden someone will pick out Wiggly Worm, and everybody stops and dances. Now you kind of have to know your class for this one. If you have really shy kids, this might be a horrible time to do this, because they might all just stand there and look at you and you think, oh wow, I look really silly now. But for some classes, this just makes it so much fun. So every time you see Wiggly Worm, you go, oh, let's dance. And so everyone goes crazy and dances. Now you could, if you think you have shyer kids, maybe you pick a different activity when you get Wiggly Worm. You can kind of adapt it how you want to. So that is week 8. So you're getting ready for week 2 of Tin Whistle. I should be posting a Tin Whistle video soon. We will see. This week has been kind of crazy. So we are having fun, and I just hope to hear from you. If there's anything that you need or would like to see on these videos, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to see your freebies down below and check out my TPT store. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye.